Hi guys, today is Tuesday. I hope everyone's day is off to an amazing start. Thanks so much for stopping in today, guys. And yes, I'm still nasally, but we're gonna push through it, guys. I do feel a lot better today though, by the way. So yeah, I am stopping in, guys, to share with you some of the things that took place, some of the things that I purchased while Eric, Chase, and I were over in Europe a few days ago. If you follow me on Instagram, then you've seen all the little video montages and photos that I put together to kind of bring you guys along, and I think most of you got a real sense of just how much fun we had. And some of you also wanted to know a lot of the little meat and nooks and crannies and details of the trip, because you shared that you guys are preparing to go to Europe down the road yourself, so you kind of wanted to know the ins and outs. Okay, and so that's what I am here to do today. I have my little notebook here so that I don't forget anything, because I really want to give you guys all of the little tips and things that helped us out on this particular trip. Okay, first things first, before you leave home, what do you pack? Okay, so we will never travel out of the country during the winter months if we can help it. I don't like being cold, and so I am not going to pay for a plane ticket, pay for food and housing to go somewhere and stay in someone else's miserable winter. Never gonna happen. So we will always travel overseas during the summer months. And so what to bring on your trip during the summer months is the vantage point that I'll be able to share with you. Will be sleeves. Okay, just because it's going to be during the summer, if you're traveling to both London and Paris, which we actually did and had a great time, like I said, you want to bring the sleeves, because there were those early mornings and evenings where I really benefited from having a light sweater. Now, do you need to bring a huge Burberry coat? No ma'am. Okay, leave your furs at home. But if you are going to be partaking in tours and being out in the weather at night or early in the morning, you do want to be sure that you pack some sleeves. And so that this video is not terribly long, guys, I'm really going to try not to be too long-winded. As you guys know, I have the gift of gab. So everything else that you think of that you need to wear during our summer months here, if you're in the States, then you'll need those over there. Okay, comfortable shoes if you're going to be doing any tours. I actually brought more shoes than I thought I would need, because I actually ended up putting some in the trash. Paris killed a pair of my shoes, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But other than the sleeves, everything else that you would typically travel with during the summer as it relates to clothes and sunscreen, you'll absolutely need those. But sometimes, you know, when we think of summer months, we think, especially here in the States, that every day is going to be super hot and you won't need them, but you absolutely will. Okay, next up, currency exchange. You want to get on into the living and having fun of the trip. So I say take care of the currency exchange while in your home airport, so that when you get to your destination, all of that is taken care of. We kind of budgeted out what we thought would be a good amount of money to have over in London and Paris before we left, and ironically enough, it was just enough, and everything else we kind of put on a credit card. But go ahead and take care of your currency exchange in your home airport, so that when you get to your destination, you're not trying to find a bank or a currency exchange window, you know, taking time away from the trip and doing that. Go ahead and take care of it in your home airport. Where should you stay? Where do you stay? For both places, for both London and Paris, we stayed, guys, in an Airbnb. Yes, Miss Hotel Snob, Miss Hotel Phobia herself stayed in an Airbnb. All right, now, if you are traveling to Europe for the first time, and let's say you live here in the States, you live in Texas where everything is greater, you live in, you know, Georgia where you get a lot of bang for your buck, you are going to be in for a bit of a shock once you get to both London and Paris, I would say, okay? You're not gonna get a whole lot for your money, as space is limited in these spaces, you know, in these places. You know, here in the States, especially here in Atlanta, we will tear down an old building in a minute and put up something brand new. Whereas when you travel overseas, they really appreciate the culture, the heritage of their structures. So they're not going to tear them down and get rid of them. What they will do is maybe gut the inside of it out a little bit and make the accommodations that they have or trying to work with on the inside fit with the space, the parameters of that old building. But they're not tearing anything down. So back in the day, you know, everything was smaller. And so the rooms are going to be smaller now because they're trying to put these new, more modern rooms into these smaller spaces. But I said all that to say, we decided to go with Airbnb because there are 3 of us. And so if typically when we travel here in the States, we'll get 2 rooms. Chase is a big dude and he needs his space because it keeps my crankiness, my hotel phobia, whatever, you know, it keeps it under control. I can't, no. So he gets his own room. So when we got to Europe, we were not guaranteed a connecting room, okay? We could get 2 rooms, but he could have been on a completely different floor, and mama not playing that, okay? I've said that I've kind of lengthened the leash that I have on him, but, you know, I'm still a little bit of a helicopter mom, so if I could not have adjoining rooms guaranteed, then that was absolutely not gonna work for us. So the only other way for us to do it was to get the Airbnb. So in London, we stayed with this company called Sonder, S-O-N-D-E-R, and it was fabulous. And you come through the front door, and on your left you have the living space. This is all of our luggage. We travel heavy. But over here, and I'll clean all of this off in just a second, but this is like the stove. You have a toaster. There's a sink there. There's a little sitting area here where you can have a seat and have breakfast or dinner or whatever. Some more artwork. There's another gorgeous window there. There's a TV and a really nice little sofa or sitting area. So that is the space. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. The building outside looked like something I wouldn't even want to walk past, let alone stay in. But, you know, again, this is the historical nature of some of these buildings. It was just character, okay? So once we got in, and when I tell you, you had to give a drop of blood from yourself, your spouse, your first and last born, and, you know, whatever pets you have to get into the building, it was some really 007 type stuff to get in and out. Nobody was gonna break off up into there, okay? So it was serious. So once we got in, I mean, the place was fabulous. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. We had a living room. There was a little kitchen, a sitting area, of course. There was a thermostat control in every room, guys, and the floors were heated. The floors were heated, okay? Oh my gosh, it felt so great to step out of the shower, even though it was summertime. But you know, immediately when you step out of the shower, you can be a little bit chilly. So I will leave all the information and a look at the Airbnb here in the video. I'll have clips or whatever, and I will leave the actual link if I can, because I've never shared an Airbnb link, but I'll try to leave it below if I can. And so when we went to Paris, we also had an Airbnb. They call it a flat there. And now this one I really needed the help of Jesus, Moses, all the disciples, the angels, everybody I had to call on them because the building looked like something that should have been demolished 50 years ago, okay? Let alone somewhere that I wanted my family to stay. But again, once we got inside, it was great, all right? But here again, also, it was like you had to give so many different like fingerprints, elbow prints to get into the building. Like, I don't know what's going on, but you were just not going to walk up in there, okay? But it was really, really good. It was great to have our own space, a place where all three of us could feel safe and secure, and we absolutely loved it. Like I said, I will leave, it was 2 different companies, so I'll leave all of the Airbnb information below. Transportation. When I tell you, when we got back home, we tallied up our bill for the transportation and we were right at $1,000. I'm not even exaggerating. We spent just about $1,000 on Uber and taxi. They do not have Lyft in Europe, but they do have Uber and of course taxis. And so that's how we got around. We also, when we were going back and forth between London and Paris, which we did a couple of times, we actually took Eurostar, the train.
It is the day after the 4th of July, so that makes it July 5th. And we have actually made it to the Eurostar. We're headed over to Paris. We actually got here a little bit early, so we're just waiting for our train. So we'll see you guys once we get over in Paris.
It was great. If you guys know anything about, you know, traveling between London and Paris, you know, you're going to go through the English channel words, use them. You're going to go through the English Channel, which means, guys, we're going to be underwater. Yeah. We were in the ocean for about 20 minutes. And you don't know, because the windows, there are windows, but when you go underwater, the tunnel is black, so you don't see anything until you come out on the other side. But it was a really great trip. I want to say it took, what, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours for the total trip, but only 20 minutes are underwater. So it was really great. But again, you really are going to have to budget in transportation. I mean, because it was so hot. We were not walking. A lot of the places you could walk to, but it was, no. It was too hot. So we Ubered everywhere and we taxied everywhere. And so yeah, almost $1,000 just on transportation. We take an Uber 2 or 3 times a day because we did not spend a whole lot of time in the Airbnb. We were in Europe for roughly 2 weeks. And so we were, you know, we were really trying to get out and experience the culture. So whenever we could, we were just out and on the go. And it was just a great time. Moving right along to what to wear. Wear whatever you want to wear. Okay? When you think of going out of the country, you think that everybody is going to be walking the streets of whatever city it is, dressed to the nines and just completely overdone. I didn't see any of that. I don't know if it had anything to do with the time of year it was, but everyone was absolutely casually dressed for whatever it was we were doing at the time. So I would say if you have traveled during the summer before, just take whatever you know, you feel comfortable wearing during the summer months, whether it be shorts, sandals, you know, light little breezy sundresses, you know, things like that. And I think you will absolutely be fine. There were, did we have any rain? You know what, we didn't have any rain on the trip. And I know my girl Deb, she couldn't believe it. She was just like, oh my gosh, you guys are having really great weather. So we just absolutely enjoyed it. You may want to bring a little fan, a little handheld fan, and I think I've shared with you guys before. I have a little contraption that I put on my phone. I did not bring it, but it would have come in handy on some of our tour days, because if you do a tour bus, if you do the museum, a lot of the museums are not air conditioned, okay? But so you just want to dress accordingly. So if you are going to London and Paris, all right, anytime soon, do a hop on, hop off bus tour. We always do bus tours, whether it be New York, Chicago. We did bus tours in Montreal, Toronto. They just kind of give you a sense of what it is you should be doing in town for the length of your stay. We've really been fortunate enough to have just really great tour guides, and don't worry, they speak whatever language you are. The tour guides are multilingual, and so you will be able to, if you have a physical tour guide, he'll go back and forth between several languages, or sometimes you'll have headphones and you can kind of push on the bus button near your seat which language you prefer to have the tour in, and it's really great. But the bus tours just really give you a sense of what you should be doing, what places you should kind of go and check out, where you should be eating, and it's just a great way to also see the city. And so we absolutely enjoy doing the bus tours, but you want to make sure you're doing the hop on and hop off bus tours. They are also great, guys, to kind of cut down on the cost of your Uber costs or your taxis, because you can use them as a taxi. You've already paid for your tickets for your bus tour, so you just hop on and hop off as many times as you would like. And I will say that if I had to tell you what length of stay or ticket to purchase for your bus tours, because that's absolutely how you buy them, I would say get a 3 to 5 day, ticket. And what is also great is a lot of times when you do the big bus tours, those are the ones that I swear by. Wherever we go, they're all over. Big bus tour is everywhere. And so what is great when you use big bus tours is they'll also throw in some perks of like maybe a free tickets to Madame Tussauds, or free tickets for a river tour, free tickets to a museum, something like that. So it is a really, really good investment. I'll also say here too, you want to make sure you purchase those tickets before you leave your home city. Okay, please don't get to your destination and try to buy those tickets. It's just a hassle, and sometimes they do sell out. The tours do fill up quickly, so it's great to kind of have an itinerary before you get to these places. Kind of give your family a sense of what you're going to be doing. I know for our major trips like this, Eric, he is such a great trip planner. Okay, I'm going to start hiring him out. What he does is we call it here in our house, we have a family meeting, and we can be discussing any types of issues during the family meeting, but he sends us a text, he puts it on our calendar, family meeting, this particular day, this particular time, and this is what we're going to discuss. And so during this particular family meeting that we had before leaving Atlanta, Georgia, we talked about what we were going to do. What would our itinerary be? And so one of them, of course, was the bus tour. We talked about doing the Eiffel Tower. Guys, if you are ever in Paris, those of you, several of you did tell me now that you were going to Paris and London, go to the Eiffel Tower.
A little bit nervous this morning as we are going to go all the way to the top. And yeah, let's see if you guys can see. That's the base of it. Right there. Oh, okay, there. I think you guys can get a better look right there. But yeah, so we are about to get on or go inside of the Eiffel Tower and go all the way to the top. So we're in line, guys, and this is my view right now. We're on the west side of the Eiffel Tower. We're not quite at the top yet.
Our permanent structure. It was built for only 20 years.
I think this is the halfway point. Not really sure, but we are on a little 10-15 minute break while some people use the restroom, grab a snack, something to drink. So we're just sitting here. It's like a little park area up here. Here's Eric. There he is there. Up here is just kind of chilling out. Yeah, so almost there.
I don't want to get out.
It's fun.
I don't
know if I want to hear the stairs.
Am I going to the judge?
Like, can we have you off?
Yes.
No, I'm going to stay on and go back down. I cannot.
Hey, Charlie, I've been there. Excuse me. Fake news.
Do we have to go off? Can I just
Because your friend. Okay, no problem.
You will get off. Yeah, we'll
But
get
you
off.
know what? It would be better when you arrive here. It's close in the elevator. Yeah. As you want. Look.
So we are at the top of the Eiffel Tower. Gorgeous view of Paris. This is the view of south, so we're pointed the southern direction. This is the view from the east. We are about 1,000 feet in the air, 300 meters. Business district. Which technically is not a part of Paris. Look down there.
Now, don't just stand out there and take pictures in front of the Eiffel Tower, guys. Go inside, climb it. It is an experience, okay? I am deathly afraid of heights, okay? I don't know what I was thinking, okay? If I had to do it again, I don't know, I might do it again, but it was scary. I'm not gonna lie. So what you do is, I think you walk up 2 levels. There are 2 levels you walk up, and ours was a guided tour. And so our tour guide, you know, he's talking, telling you about all of the history of the Eiffel Tower. It was great, okay? It was great. I'm not gonna go into all of it for you because I want you to go and experience it for yourself. And then after that, oh, there's a neat little area on that 2nd level too, guys. It looks like Central Park. It is just gorgeous. They have this little fake AstroTurf there. It's a moment. It's a place where you can pick up little light snacks and, you know, croissants and things like that, and just kind of hang out and relax before you walk up 2 more levels. Okay, now that is where the fear of heights really kicked in for me. Okay, there was a gentleman walking in front of me, and I can tell you what size New Balance sneakers he had on, the color, the number of rocks in the bottom of his shoe, because when I tell you I did not take my eyes off of his feet, that is the only way I made it to the elevator. Okay, I was so terrified. Eric and Chase were about 5 people ahead of me, and there were many times I wanted to turn around, but turn around and go back down where? by myself, and then there are kids climbing up, just whizzing by me. I was like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna get through it, okay? So I didn't look. If you look out, because the Eiffel Tower, you know, it's not encased in glass or anything, not these particular levels, so you can just really see outside and down. So I really focused on that gentleman's foot, his shoes. I just kept my eyes right there, and thank you Jesus, we made it to the level where we were going to catch the elevator. So you take a huge, just industrial like elevator to the top, okay? You think you're good, you get on the elevator, and then it's like you're just going, and I'm like, you're just going up and up and up, and I'm like, when is this thing gonna stop? So at a certain point, you're in the elevator with you know, several other people. I didn't care. I told the elevator operator, ma'am, do we have to get off? Can I please go down with you, because I'm not gonna be able to do it, because it was just so freaking high, like ridiculous. And she was like, yes, sure, you can go back down, but once we get to the top, it's going to be better, because the top part is all encased. So it was great. I got really long-winded on that, but do the Eiffel Tower summit. You have to do it, and you can do certain levels. You don't necessarily have to go all the way to the top. I am absolutely glad we did. You get a nice glass of champagne when you're up there, and it's a great picture spot. All right, so Eiffel Tower, in Paris, bus tours in both Paris and London, the Louvre. You must do the Louvre, guys. Again, don't stand out front and just take a picture by the pyramid. Go inside. The history in the Louvre, just the culture of it all. Just an unforgettable experience. We did the British Museum in London. And of course you're going to want to eat. Fortunately for us in Paris, there was a little carnival going on not too far from the Louvre, and so we hung out there. What else? Let me look at my notes here. Of course, the Champs-Elysees, you know, you're gonna want to stroll that. We did a boat tour.
Et après, à gauche, vous verrez aussi le musée du Louvre. Começamos o contínuo de ir com teléfonos bajo el próximo puente, con la historia del Museo de Orsay. A la izquierda, veremos también.
So many wonderful things to do, and the people are just amazing. I will say, I've never seen that many police just camped out at certain areas of Paris, ever. But you know the climate in Paris right now, so that's why their presence was felt. But they were so nice. They were the nicest police. So I cannot say enough great things about both Paris and London. You know, for you who are going for the first time, don't be intimidated. You are going to have a great time. Should you take your kids? Yes. Why not? I tell you, there's nothing that chaps my tush more than parents who go and experience the world and leave their kids behind with the grandparents, the aunties, and the uncles. I just really feel that's not fair. Okay, of course you want to take trips where you're you know, with your spouse, your significant other. Of course, you guys are going to need your alone time on some of the trips. But I know people personally never, ever take their kids on vacation. Why is that? I just don't get it. It is not fair, like I said, for us to go out and experience all the world has to offer, and our kids only know, you know, what's up the street, you know, a few blocks from here. There's more to life from these for these kids than just going to school and, you know, playing sports. They need to get out and experience the culture and see the world, because this is going to set them up later in life for what they need to be doing for their families, okay? I know we've all been out and we've seen people's children, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, gosh, their kids act like they've never been anywhere. It's probably true, you know? So don't be that individual that you are talking about when you see children out misbehaving, okay? We can take Chase anywhere, and we do. And he behaved like, when people see him, they swear he's older than what he is, because he's so mature and he knows how, you know, to act accordingly, because he's used to things. And that's the key. We want to make sure our children are used to things. Nothing is new for him, okay? Because he's been exposed to it all. And so I think all of our kids should have those same advantages. Now, I will say, if you're traveling with younger children, you know, Chase is 16. So if you're traveling with younger children, if you're doing like we did, flying in on and off of the train, now it's going to be work. But I did see it. I did see parents in the Louvre explaining to their young kids, you know, the process of mummification, and explaining to, you know, their kids why this artifact was found here versus there, breaking it down on their level. So some parents do go ahead and make those sacrifices. We've brought these children into the world. It is our responsibility to absolutely make sure that they are versed, you know, as much as we can enable them, you know, in the world, okay? I think I've answered most of the questions, or just about all of the questions that you guys had. Looking at my notes, if there's something that I left off as we come to the end of this video, please leave a comment below and I will do my best to answer that. So we did a bit of shopping, not a whole lot. This was not a shopping trip for me. You know, the stores that are in London and Paris, we have them here in Atlanta, just a few blocks from my house. So when I travel, I don't necessarily have to take it as an opportunity to go, you know, and ball out in Paris or ball out in London, because I could do it right here up the street from my house. No tea, no shade to anyone who does that. You know, do your trip the way you want to do your trip. But for me, I just felt that, you know, you guys have seen our pictures on Instagram and you've seen the other travel videos. We really just get immersed in the culture. That being said, you cannot travel down the Champs-Elysees and not go into at least one store, right? So I happened into the Louis Vuitton store and just picked up a little small something, all right? So the experience was amazing, all right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, I packed this in my suitcase, and I am so glad I did, because there were a few people in front of me as we landed back here in Atlanta. They were getting off with their Chanel and Louis Vuitton and Gucci, you know, bags, and paid out some major taxes for their purchases, while mine was packed neatly into my suitcase, okay? I'm not saying do you do that, okay? That's just what I did, all right? But anyway, in Louis Vuitton, just a really great experience. So now, like I said, you don't necessarily have to go there and, you know, ball out of control, especially if you live here in Atlanta, because we are privy to all of these shops. But it was just great. We were already walking past Louis Vuitton, so, you know, we happened in there. So what I purchased was in this little bitty box here, all right? Packaged really nicely. My sales associate was amazing, all right? So this is what I have, and I never thought that I would purchase one of these. But here's the other thing too, guys. Everything that was in the Louis Vuitton store, you know, we actually have it here. I didn't see anything new, anything that I could not get here. All right, so what I got was this really darling little Louis Vuitton trifold wallet. It's the Victorine. I have it here obviously in the empreinte leather, and the color is Mardi Rouge. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. When I saw this, I felt it would be great to go along with one of my existing bags. Now, not one of my Louis Vuitton bags, because you guys know I don't have any blue, or that's like a burgundy. They call it rouge, but it's like an ox blood red combination. And the Mardi is like, that's the navy blue color. Just fancy. Fancy names for blue and burgundy. But I don't have any I don't have any Louis Vuitton bags this color. However, you guys will recall that before leaving for Europe, I did purchase the Christian Dior tote, and so I had this in mind when I purchased the wallet. I felt that they would look really, really great together. I do still have my eye on a few Christian Dior wallet, well, one Christian Dior wallet to be the perfect accompaniment to my book tote, but you know, I felt this would be great as well. But this is just a gorgeous wallet. The price for it, tax and everything, was $4.75, so I think it was a great value. And like I said, it's a trifold. I have not worn it yet, but it opens up. You have, I guess you call it a trifold because it's 3 different sections here. You have quite a lot of space for your cards, whether it be insurance cards, credit cards, your driver's license, whatever. There's a little hidden little pocket right here, and it opens up here for your bills. And you hear that? Gosh, that sound of the Louis Vuitton zippers, I don't know, it just does something to me. It's so amazing. All right, and then there you have your coins, but you guys know I probably will not store any coins in there. And then here, of course, it was made in France. That's a great little bonus there, that, you know, this was made in France. I purchased it in France. So that's all that I picked up. I think this is going to be a great addition to my little SLG collection. But yeah, if you get an opportunity again to go to Paris, you absolutely want to take a stroll down the Champs-Elysees. Again, going back to just how nice the police officers were. There was some type of carnival going on. I thought I was in Trinidad, but everybody was out in the street with the feathers and barely dressed, but it was a moment, guys. It was a moment. And so after the carnival was open, the police just blocked off one section of the street so that they could, you know, the cleaners and everything could get up all the confetti and stuff like that. So the tourists, guys, we had our run of the Champs-Elysees. Okay, it was just amazing. All right, if you have not happened over onto my Instagram and checked out the pictures and the videos, and you're thinking about going to either London or Paris, you might want to do that. I really tried to give you guys little snippets of what, you know, we actually did. We had an amazing time. I hope you enjoyed the footage that I have included here today. All right, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Okay, I'm gonna go and eat me some yogurt. My doctor suggested that I really try to eat more probiotics, and maybe that'll help with my sinus infections. But yeah, really appreciate you guys stopping in. Drop down in the comments, let me know if you're going to take any Europe trips this summer. All right, really appreciate you guys stopping in, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.